Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use forms in your pages to connect data to your front end and to gather data for your application. So let's dive into any page we've already created. In this example, I'm going to use a homepage that I've created. I'm going to make sure that I've got some space ready, and I'm going to dive into the form section. So we have a couple of form options. The regular form, this is to create a custom form, the create form, update form, and login form. A login form might be something that just speaks for itself, but it is used to basically collect your login information for logging into your application. It needs to be connected to an authentication profile and an authentication model. An update form can only be used on pages where data is already available to update the existing data that you provide to the form. In this case, I am going to be looking to create some information, so I'm going to add the create form to my page. And in here, we can select a model. If you haven't created any models prior or previously, please make sure to look at our model content. Otherwise, you can also open the select model option and create a new model with properties yourself. This is basically an object with its descriptions. In this case, I would like to create a project on my page. So I'm going to say I want to create a project with the necessary information that I can provide. So here I can select the properties that I'm allowed to use in this form. In this case, I want to provide the name for my project. I want to provide the description and the start and the end date, because I think that that's important to provide once you create a project. Then I press save, and the form generates on your page. A form is a bunch of text fields connected together to an action and your model, because what it does is the action basically collects the data that a user puts into your create form, and then afterward it submits it to your model. We're going to dive into the action part a little later, and if something goes wrong with the submit of the form, you will either get an error message, but if something goes right, then a success message will appear. So how do we get to testing, or how do we get to seeing what this form looks like? We can press the compile button, the play button, to our pages. Once you've made a change to a page, you need to press the compile button to open up this page. It needs to happen for every page that you make changes to. And once that happens, you can log in to your application. This is using the Bettyblocks authentication profile. And it might happen that sometimes you have to log in twice. That is because once you log in as a builder and once you log in for your authentication profile. This is purely security reasoning, and it could also mean that you are able to use multiple logins. So let's add some information for a project. Project number 1. I'm also going to use that for the description, and the start date is going to be the 15th, and the end date is going to be a little while from now. And then I'm going to press send, and we can say success, form has been submitted successfully. Wonderful. So now we know how to submit data to our application. In another video, I'm going to show you how to show the data onto your page. But first, let's get started with collecting some data by implementing forms onto our pages.